Good morning. Welcome to day 18. Trading Momo Strategy in the simulator. We've got a UUD popping off on the scans this morning. Up 100%. We break high of day there, but we are a little bit extended right now. We've got 5 green candles on the 5-minute. I'm not sure how much further up this could really go. It does have a low float, but so just a quick recap of yesterday. Yesterday I hit twice my max loss. So after my stream ended, I went back and I reviewed my VOD and my risk management and all that. And as you can see in the stream title, I reduced my maximum position size. In my strategy, I said that I take 3% max risk on any one of my trades. 3% meaning that's my maximum position size. So with the current strategy, or sorry, not the current one, but the one that I was trading yesterday and before, when I updated my position management for scaling, the plan was that the maximum position size would be 3%. So 3% of a $2,000 theoretical account size would be, for example, say like 60 bucks. So you would have to trade a position with the expectation that you could potentially lose up to $60 on that. And if your expectation is on average, if you're not careful, you could get, your stop is 20 cents or you lose 20 cents on a trade, then your maximum position size would be 300 shares. 300 shares times 20 cents is $60. So that's the maximum position size you could trade. But I think 3% may be a little bit high. When it's that high, it can start triggering emotions when you're losing. So I decided to reduce it down to 2%, which is kind of more in line, I think, with what Ross risks on his trade. So, for example, if he has a $200,000 account size and he risks 2% on a $200,000 account size, then he would be risking $4,000. If he is risking 20 cents on 20,000 shares, right, then that's about $4,000. 20,000 shares being his maximum position size that he's had in the past. I think he's said recently that he increased that to like 50,000 or something, but a year ago, I think his max position size was 20,000. But so reducing my max risk is going to help me when I'm trading with quarter size because it's going to reduce drawdowns, and it will force me to scale into winning positions more in order to make my daily goals. Right now, I haven't been trading enough with max size to like talk about the benefits of reducing my risk in terms of like how it would affect my maximum position size, but we're coming back up to 850 here. But we still haven't had a proper 5-minute pullback. Doji on the 5-minute, I'm not sure if it counts. It's still green. We got a little bit of choppy price action up here too with these topping tails. I'm not really interested in price action around here because this is a more of a moving average pullback. And MACD was close to crossing over. But it would have worked, but I'm looking for 5-day breakouts right now. I would need to see a break, hold, and start pulling away. Otherwise, I'm just waiting for the next thing. I don't really have anything else on my watch list. Con is a bit too expensive as a continuation setup. Everything else is not really up enough on the day, or it's too cheap, or floats too high. So do my customary looking at what the S&P 500 is doing. Ended up kind of going back up, banging against the highs almost during regular market hours, but then gapping down today. It's kind of going sideways a little bit. There were a few things I considered. Maybe I... So after yesterday, there were a few things I considered here. I'm just gonna open up Notepad. So the first one being maximum. Here, I'll increase my my font size. How do I do that? Font size, increase. So we have position. We'll do max position size. Apparently I can't use, oh, there we go. So it's 3% to 2% for 3 to 10, well, 2 to $10 per share. So $2 to $10 per share stocks, max position size is 3% to 2%. And it is actually 1.5% for anything above $10 per share because it's a bit riskier. And these can trigger me if I take big losses on them. So slightly reduce the position size on $10 shares even further. So instead of being 3% originally and trading with quarter size, it's 1.5% trading with quarter size. So we're trading with small size on higher price stocks. Next thing I wanted to consider was the half loss back for green to red. So this was supposed to be a soft rule where I look back, I make a big mistake, and I have to stop if I do a self-evaluation and I feel like I'm compromised. But for some reason yesterday, I didn't do that. I took a big loss and then I immediately jumped back in and then took another big loss. And if I had adhered to proper position management on the trade that I took the loss, and I exited the trade as soon as it reversed and broke back down, and then I adhered to half loss back, so losing a good portion of my position of my maximum, my peak profits on the day, and stopped there, then I would just be break even yesterday, and I wouldn't be $100 in the red. So that's kind of a big, that's a big strike. That's almost worth like 2 strikes or even 3 strikes. The fact that that can happen one time means that I should consider making this a hard rule. And just like Ross, whenever you lose half your profits back, just walk away. Because you're going to get yourself into bad situations if you're not thinking straight. So I think I should make this a hard rule and just focus on accuracy and not taking losses. But this is for when you reach daily goal. So if I reach my $50 daily goal, if I lose half of that back, then I have to stop. During a hot market, if it's my daily goal is $200, I lose half that back and go down to $100, and that's where you stop. So half of 50, half of 200, cold market, hot market. So let me close this. We got something else popping up here. PMEC. Another AI catalyst. It's $1 right now. We do have volume coming in, so my position sizing for this would be 200 shares. Yeah, the third thing I wanted to talk about, though, when I had this notepad open, I might just leave that $1 stock alone for now. So the third thing I wanted to talk about was actual share sizes now, my rules for hotkeys and share sizes. So the way I had it set up before was a little bit weird, which is why I didn't end up following my position management. I had just updated my position management to include scaling, and I didn't really think about what hotkey I was pressing when I jumped into the trade. So right now my hotkeys are on Alt. So Alt plus A, Q, and W for my buy orders. Shift is the same, except it's a load instead of a go. So Alt is go, Shift is load. So Alt, for example, Alt A buys on the ask immediately. So it's a load and go. It buys on the ask immediately 10 cents above for a limit order. But A is now 50 shares, Q is now 200 shares, and W is now 15 shares. My intention is that 50 shares is quarter of my maximum position size. So for a $2,000 theoretical account, maximum position size is $200, right? Or 200 shares, right? So 50 is quarter of 200. So if I want to get in with quarter size, I press the button once. If I want to get in with half size, I press the button twice. And maximum position size is 4 button presses. But this is for a $3 to $10 stock. Or $9.99. 15 shares is quarter size position for any $10 plus stock. So 1 button press is quarter, 2 button presses is half, 4 button presses is full size. You can kind of understand where I'm going. So it's kind of consistent, right? 200 is for a $1 stock. Quarter size being 200 and full size being 800. Now the only thing that you're missing here is a $2 stock, which is a little bit awkward because I feel like the transition between 1 and 2 is kind of like different between the transition between 2 and 3. Like there's still a transition there. 2s move a little bit faster than $1 stocks, but they don't move quite as fast as 3s. So they don't, $2 stocks don't often go up 50 cents or 40 cents. Usually they still go up only like 20 to 25 cents. So your position sizing for 2s is a little bit peculiar because you're not expecting it to move as much. So your stops also have to be a little bit lower, in which case your maximum size is different. But a maximum size for 2 is basically going to be double that of a $3 stock. So instead of 200 max position size, it's going to be a 400 share max position size. So I'd probably just have to, if I wanted to trade a $2 stock, I would have to specially load it and then keep in mind that I have, additional button presses. But I don't really like trading $2 stocks as much in general anyways. They're kind of awkward. I don't really do well on them. So if I decide to trade one, I just have to keep that in mind. But overall, I don't really like trading them too much. But this kind of pattern is intended so that I remain consistent with how I press my hotkeys across the board. W is meant for high price stocks, Q is meant for $1 stocks, and A is meant for my bread and butter, 3 to 10, 3 to 9.99. And 3 to 10, so A is primarily the button that I'm going to be pressing for most of my trades. So it's keeping it simple, right? All I need to keep in mind is that 1 button is quarter, 2 is half, 3 is, 3/4, and 4 is full size. So for example, if I want to get in with a half size starter, I press it once. If the trade starts going in my favor, I press it again. If I reach my size up goal on the day, which is now $10, 20 cents and 50 shares, then I can maybe take a half size starter, which is 2 button presses. If it goes in my favor, then I can continue pressing the button twice more to go up to full size if I'm confident. So that's kind of the way I've been thinking. These are my solutions to the other day. And just keeping in mind my triggers as well. Calm down if I miss a large move because I'm unsure about something, then it's not a big deal. And to just chill out kind of thing. But I thought I'd share that at the beginning of my stream here, since there's not really too much I'm watching. AUUD is kind of curling back up to the highs here. MACD is still negative. We'll see what happens with this. Another thing I need to keep in mind is that if something is moving quickly and it doesn't have news, or maybe I should take the risk and take the opportunity anyways. Maybe just enter with quarter size, see how it goes. If it still moves really quickly, then I can continue adding to it. The problem is that I've been relying so much on news because of the cold market we were just in, right? At any moment in a cold market, if there's no news on a stock, it could just reverse. I've been trying to focus on accuracy, but I somehow need to keep a balance between figuring out and watching and kind of judging for myself how quickly price action is moving rather than trying to, evaluate the catalyst all the time. Catalyst is super important, but if you're going up 50%, 60% in the first pullback, then maybe I should consider it regardless. Or maybe there's a way for me to draw from multiple news sources so that I'm not just relying on day trade dash. Maybe I should have paid attention to the trading view news. Maybe if I were trading in trade zero, I could have the news headlines open for trade zero. Not sure. That's my evaluation. So we're just waiting for 7:30 now. After our move yesterday, we might have some FOMO if a stock with news comes out. So hopefully we get something good today. Looks like we're kind of just selling off here now. That was probably the top of the move. It's just unfortunate that I wasn't sat down at 6:40 at the beginning of this move here. But I generally don't trade prior to 7 a.m. Unless it's expecting the surge of volume, because there's a lot of brokers that are closed before 7 a.m. So there's usually not as much volume as there is after 7 a.m. Kind of similar to the transition from the pre-market to open market. There's a lot of brokers that don't allow trading before the open, depending on what your account is with them. Three minutes to 7:30. I might, since I don't really have anything else on watch, once again, if we don't get any news at 7:30, then I might just play Slay the Spire in between, waiting for news, because there's nothing moving. I did consider trader rehab today, since this is my biggest loss. You know, I took a loss past max loss, and now I lost back all the profits that I had made during our series here. The drawdown brings us basically back to where I started in the beginning of April. That is a little bit disheartening. But the reason why I didn't consider that is because I want, what's more important to me right now is getting used to the position management. And I want to see if the position management works. You know, I don't feel emotionally compromised like I feel the need to make it back. Partially also because I'm in the simulator right now. So it's more important to me to, test out my position management skills and get everything organized and make sure that I'm hitting buttons correctly the way I should be. In fact, yesterday, after I stopped stream, what I did was I did a session during regular market hours where I just press buttons, like not a part of my metrics or anything. Like the trades aren't going through. Like I didn't export those trades into my metrics off stream. What I did was I sat down during regular market hours and I just used my hotkeys. So I changed my hotkeys to the new share sizes and I just practiced using them and getting used to, shift one for profit targets and stuff since I had an error with shift one. And then since I had the error with position management yesterday, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to sit down. I'm just going to press buttons for a while. Doesn't matter. If anything's moving, I just get into anything that's moving. Doesn't matter. So that's what I did yesterday. So 7:30, I'm watching for news. ELAB popping up again. This thing comes out with news like all the time. So I don't really trust this. You can see how many daily levels I have here. I'm going to remove them all because I don't really want to trade this garbage stock anymore. it like almost never moves smoothly. This stock is kind of infamous for not moving very nicely. I'm not interested in ELAB. PMEC, what was the news on this again? Accelerating their, I think, your AI data center. This has the possibility to curl, but it's a lot of selling. You can see how much selling there is. High volume selling, low volume buying. I'm not really interested in it, especially since it's the 200 EMA and the $1 half dollar, whole dollar resistance level are kind of on top of each other here. So it's a little bit difficult to expect this to break through VWAP, the 200 moving average, and the half dollar, whole dollar when there's volume profile like this. And then even if it breaks through, there's another daily resistance level up at 110. So not much expectation for that. So $10 here. How far back does this go? This is a long time ago, 85. There's a long history of price action here, but this is almost at all-time highs. Like all-time highs was technically $20 back in 85, but I can't imagine there being bag holders back from 85. So this is practically almost at all-time highs if it continues going any higher here. Here, let's look at the 1 year. Or maybe the week-long interval. Yeah, so above 1230-ish. 1240 is pretty much all-time highs. You know, with an asterisks. I guess the correct term would be blue sky over like 1240. Should be blue sky. So I need to remind myself, right? If I take a position on this, if it starts squeezing up, we break 1150, then one button press is W to take quarter size. Problem with TRT is that it doesn't have news, but it is up 24%. Not sure why it's up so much. Maybe a continuation from yesterday, 22nd. Made a little bit of a move during regular hours. Now, the reason why I'm watching this at all, even though it looks like there's no volume, is because if it suddenly spikes at all, we've seen how quickly blue sky can move before. I've seen it in the past. An example was NPT. It broke a daily level and just squeezed all the way up to like 26, I think, from like 12 or so. So if these get an opportunity to break out, they move really quickly. PMEC actually ended up breaking $1 there, going up to $1.08, which is surprising to me, as I mentioned before, but looks like we're not really holding very well. So, since I don't really have too much on watch, we're gonna play a little bit of Slay the Spire. While we wait for 8 o'clock. Osty build or Invoke? I kind of like Invoke more. Osty build would have worked with that. Deal damage equal to the number of cards played this combat. Kind of interesting. Retain is kind of strong. I like this and this and just removing a strike. And we'll keep some of the money for the next shop. So Khan is kind of squeezing up there a little bit, but not really interested in it on continuation. So a bit too high priced at $15. This is squeezing up. It's still on really light volume. Daily level at 10. Kind of needs to break 1050. Even 1085. The news on this is just earnings results. I think we leave that alone. I don't think we touched that. AUD just sold off. I still want to keep an eye on this in case it breaks all-time highs, but MNTS getting a little bit of volume, but not particularly interested. There's actually no other shops here other than this one. Let's see if I can get some good cards. Eradicate kind of works with Invoke. Oops. Eradicate is a retain card. So I don't know. I don't really like any of these options. We just get rid of another strike. This turn I deal like 55 damage. I only need to do 17. Oh, there you go. Apply vulnerable. Another invoke. It's kind of interesting. just chain invokes. If I hit my deck just right. So I think I could just kill him. Oh, it's per turn, so I can't. Unfortunately. Let's do that. Invoke. Do. This guy is kind of annoying. Psychic prep is good. Defy is really good. I'd rather just heal. Career is good. We got 8 minutes to 8 a.m. Still keeping an eye. I just upgrade Defy. Just kill him. Really care about any of this. Pretty much an elite killer with my setup right now. $70 or below. Pretty sure that brings him down to 70. Damn. I'm very likely to draw Eradicate next turn. I don't need another invoke. I don't need that either. I do not like this. Freaking rats. Damn, he's gonna summon a minion because I didn't have an attack. Kills him. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to 8 a.m. Play for a little bit longer. Dredge. I don't really need dredge for anything. Basically, my plan is just to remove all my strikes and just eradicate everything. Could just kill one of them. I think I'll just kill the 7 damage one. Guess I gotta kill elites, but that's fine. I'm an elite killer, so this is good for AoE. Dealing with like maybe if I run into that worm in the future. The two are pretty bad. But it's 8 a.m., so I'm gonna get ready in case there's news. The game's just minimized. We'll continue playing if there's nothing. Otherwise, I'm gonna see if there's any news. Like I said previously, there's nothing I have on watch right now, so if I don't have anything on watch, as long as I'm playing a game, I'm not gonna get tempted to enter into any low quality stocks. just to take a trade to take a trade. I don't need to do that. So waiting for a proper headline. AI headline. I'm gonna buy for the break of $1. This is just an experiment, whether I win or lose. Which means I'm taking it out of my metrics, by the way, whether I win or lose. Bought the dip down there because it held VWAP. Hoping for the pop back up to $1. The higher float, but it's got an AI headline. And it's moving a little bit quickly. We're kind of stalling out up there a little bit. I'm going to try and take some profit as it nears $1 here. Kind of having a bit of a battle. So, ends up being a loss. If I were to really cut this, like where would I cut it? This thing is pretty volatile considering it's just like a sub $1 stock. It had a 95 down to like 85. It had almost a 10-cent range, which means that basically I should have traded the same share size as I would a regular $1 stock almost on breaking news. 80 down to 70, 10-cent range, which means that I should, if I decide to trade these in the future, I should maintain the same share size that I would with a regular $1 stock. I had significant volume, but it doesn't bother me. This isn't max loss. This is just, you know, you've been watching my streams. I've been experimenting with penny stocks while I'm still in the sim. These aren't a part of my regular strategy. I just wanted to see here, like, if this would pull away for the breakthrough 1. Then I bought the dip down there expecting it to pop back up to 1, but it didn't even get all the way or halfway there. It only got up to 95. I probably would have taken some profit at like 97. But then it ended up selling off. So I don't know. I haven't really been having too much success with these pennies. I'm probably not even going to trade them with real money. They seem a little bit too volatile for the amount of share size you have to take. So I guess we don't have any news at 8 a.m., so we're going back to playing Slay the Spire. Trading these pennies kind of satisfies me anyways, while I'm just waiting around doing nothing. Even if I lose on them in these experiments. Not a big deal though. So this goes back over there. Open up the game. Turn game capture back on. Is it going to capture the game? Why not? Please capture the game. There you go. Took you long enough. Once again, we're not watching anything in particular because there's nothing to watch for my strategy. So solution is to play game. The boss is this fish. I'm gonna defy it so I don't lose my defy because it's ethereal. Fortunately, I didn't draw my Eradicator. I would have done a ton of damage this turn. But, so get rid of this. Invoke again. We will block 3 times and Eradicate. Or, whatever that card's called. Leash. Vulnerable them. I don't really want to lose a ton of HP just to do damage, so I'm going to keep that in my hand. Defy. Weaken them. Double invoke back in. Then I can just kill him next turn. Do not quite kill, but do a lot of damage. Tangible. Where's my Eradicate? I need my Eradicate. Maybe I need another copy of Eradicate somehow. Don't have enough damaging cards in my hand, or maybe I just need another high damaging card. That's annoying. It's intent. Well, I have Eradicate and Unleash. They're just both in the bottom cards of my deck, just as he got Intangible. It's no good. No good. That's 33. We could do this. Lethal. There we go. Second Eradicate. Call of the Void's pretty strong too. Now what I need to find a shop with an X+1. This is also pretty strong. It just gives me extra block, really. I don't really want cards from the Regent. Yeah, that's the best option. It's just extra block. Okay, 2 shops right here. Vulnerable. Yeah, I could take this. Interesting. Could enchant Eradicate with a sharp. I'm definitely doing this. I want Invoke in my hand and Eradicate in my hand as much as possible. I think I just leave this. Another shop right here. Okay. Hidden Gem would be really good. Scourge would be some draw that I don't have right now. Take Hidden Gem. Take the draw. Go this way and take 2 elites. I can go this way, take 3 elites. I do have a rare star. I could probably take on 3 elites. I'm gonna take this. Make this free to play. And we're just gonna blast him next turn. He doesn't steal one of my cards. He's probably gonna steal my Eradicate or something. Debilitate is really good. Hidden Gem. Okay, that's not bad. And we'll do this. Phi is OP. I think we need to kill this guy like ASAP. I will invoke. If anyone's stopping by the stream, once again, I'm just playing the game while we're waiting for stuff. There's nothing on watch for me right now. Except for what I have open, TRT. If it creeps up and breaks like 12 or 1150, then we're getting close to blue sky. And then it might go parabolic. But other than that, everything else is just kind of subpar today. This does 55. Not quite enough. He's gonna triple my block. $16, $32, $48. Still not quite enough. This has replay too, actually. We're gonna do that. Then we can kill next turn, I think. Maybe. Yeah. Summon 9. I don't need it. A skill potion. Want to invoke. Have to defy. Invoke a second time. An extra energy there. Also debilitate. I don't want to bone shards because I get rid of all of my health. An Osti. No, that's the worst card to draw. But I think we're about to kill him anyways. It's a 16 times 5. Yeah, that kills. The scythe. We're on the second floor right now. What's the upgraded? It's not. It doesn't even have retain on it. I don't know. I don't really like it that much. If I get 2 of them, do they both increase in damage? No, I don't like it. My build is just eradicate things. We're gonna go this way and get another elite kill. Shadow Strike. Well, this guy is no fun. Do I just want to try and kill him next turn? I could just do 1,000,000,000 damage. I get Debilitate. Just 24 times 5. Almost kills him. I'm gonna take a lot of damage if I do that, though. Probably don't need to do this. And then I can eradicate for quite a bit of damage anyways. Oh, maybe I underestimated the amount of damage that's actually doing. Another Defy. This isn't very good. Another Scythe. I'm good. This is what we have bone shards for. Leash the back guy. Facilitate. Bone shards. Defy. Gem something. This is probably the hardest fight for me. Con going up there, but it's too high priced. I'm not interested in it. This isn't a very good hand. I don't need more than that amount of energy next turn, so I'm going to do this. This is going to be rough. You guys are going to revive now. This fight is no joke. I forgot to unleash. Forgot I can't unleash if he's dead. That's really bad. I have to kill him this turn, which I can, so that's good. I think all of these aren't good. Not really impressed with the card rewards I've been getting, the rare card rewards. I have to defy. Oh, I have another defy in my deck, right? I do. So it's probably better to do this. Let that one go. That does 66 damage. BRX popped up. Particularly look like it's going anywhere right now. 8:30 is in 4 minutes. Question is, what do I do here? This guy's not very easy for me either. Might be able to kill him next turn with an Eradicate while he's vulnerable. Losing HP for no reason, I think. Maybe it's better to have a lower cost source of vulnerable rather than that. Not sure. Two minutes to 8:30, or 1 minute. So I'm gonna close this before I start the boss fight. Get ready for news. So it's kind of a no trade day so far. This trade on MWIN doesn't count because it's just penny experimentation. As I've said before. So hopefully we get something at 8:30. Otherwise, I've just kind of been chilling around all day, doing nothing. Feels like we're back in a cold market. So TRT is actually getting a little bit of volume here. This is the one that I've been watching since earlier. If it breaks 1150 and even like 12, then we might be at blue sky. ASTI buy recommendation. No. We're creeping up here, close to 1150. We break. I'm going to take a small position, expecting the break through 1250. We hold there, so I'm going to add to it. I'm going to add to it again, take some profit up here. A bit more profit. I'm just going to take the rest. We're having a little bit of choppiness here. Five seconds left. So I scaled pretty heavily into that position, expecting it to go a bit more parabolic because we're like really close to blue sky, like all-time highs. So I was expecting it to accelerate there. Would have been a bit more of a winner if I didn't add this last time at 1350, since I sold the rest for a bit of a loss, but still up $17 on it, which isn't bad. So that's my size up goal. My size up goal is $10. So if anything else pops up, then now I have a little bit of a cushion at least. If I continue to trade this one, if it pops back up, then I'm only going to trade it with small starter size because it is higher priced. Once again, got to be careful. And so it pulled back too much here from 14 all the way down to 11. So now this isn't really that interesting anymore. And I didn't see anything else pop up with news. So our last chance for news is really like 9 a.m. We technically are still above 1150, which was around what the previous high was. Bounced off 1165, which is VWAP. I don't know. You might see a curl back up, but I think I will continue Slay the Spire. I'm not sure why it takes so long for my OBS to capture this back. Let's try window capture instead. Remove that. Window capture. Game. Select Slay the Spire. Make it small. There. Okay, well, it doesn't seem like it's working very well. It has to be game capture. It must not like something about the fact that it's in windowed mode. Very odd. Put that back up there. And back to gaming. All right, let's see if we can kill this boss. Pretty hard boss. So, hidden gem. Bone shards, not bad. We will unleash. Extra damage. The other one's not an option. I vulnerable. Draw extra cards. Debilitate. Invoke. I'm going to take a bit of extra damage here, but $24 damage. We have to defy. But now it's just 12. That's not too bad. We'll double defy. We'll do a bit of damage. We have vulnerable on him. I just have to take more damage. I don't really have a choice. I just have to hope to kill him quickly. Him can hurt. I have to keep debilitate on him. We have an eradicate coming up. That's 30, 43 damage. Do I have a... No. I think I have enough health to survive this with my tuning fork. I can defy. This has a couple of replays on it. Okay, so next turn I might be able to kill if I get a vulnerable. We'll do this, and I will block. There is no next turn, so disintegrate time. Vulnerable. And kill, please. There we go. Barely. Barely alive. Debuffs? No. Doom. It's not bad. What would I add replay to? In gem? Invoke? Defy? Yeah, probably worth it. Swift 3. I actually really like this Diamond Diadem for my build. It makes sense. Where do I go here? I go left side. The rare card rewards haven't been very impressive. Maybe I just look for campfires, shops and campfires. 2 shops. We have one shop there. Campfire, 2 campfire. 1, 2. Yeah, we take this path on the left side. Right here. Ross is taking a starter on this for the curl back up, but I don't trade curling patterns during a hot market, so I'm leaving it alone. I don't know. This is a VWAP setup, a retest of VWAP setup. I'll consider it here. It is our leaning gainer, up 93%. There's nothing else moving. So we'll see what happens here. We do a proper pullback. High is 765. Now high volume selling, almost equal to the high volume buying there. Kind of interesting. He went pretty heavy on this breakthrough VWAP, buying 25,000 shares for the curl up to 750. Pretty interesting. A bit of a pivot there. Thirty-five seconds left on that 5-minute candle. And we're kind of creeping up to this pivot. Not quite breaking the 20 EMA on the 10-second. We drop down there, but then it gets bought back up. Waiting for a proper entry candle here if we decide to take this retest of VWAP. A little bit of an ABCD pattern forming on the 1 minute. But that's a lot of topping tails. I suppose this could be a like a reverse head and shoulders pattern almost. The break back up through 780. We'll see what it does. So this breakthrough VWAP does make sense why Ross took it for this reverse head and shoulders pattern. We got some volume coming in here. $25 seconds left on that 5-minute candle with a high of 57. Forming a small doji, which is it is an entry candle if it breaks the high. I would have to see a spike in volume with green on the tape to consider getting in for the breakthrough 80, 81, 87. I'm going to take a position there. Stop was 50. It dropped down, but immediately got back up, popped back up. So I'm looking for a short squeeze here. Up to 80. So if we don't break 80, or even 60 here, then I'm just going to get out. So it's not working, so I'm just going to get out for a 1 cent loss. Not a big deal. Yeah. Much better to get out than to get smoked by a rejection like this. The moment I saw that I wasn't popping through, I got out. I was hoping to get out at 60, but I didn't have this loser on my record here. Even though it's only like a 1 cent loser, it's still a loser, but I ended up getting filled at 54, unfortunately. Tried to get out around 60. But what I did here was I saw this pop back through 50. So I thought that we might have a surge of buying volume and just push through 780 here because of this entry candle. It's kind of like a rubber band, or like a rope. If you're in a tug of war and the rope suddenly snaps, and then you have each side flying in different directions, but whoever had more strength ends up flying further. So this didn't end up working, but we'll see if we get anything at 9 a.m. One minute to 9 a.m. Watching for news. Dog was staring at me. So comfy in his bed. So if we don't get any news at 9 a.m., then we're just playing Slay the Spire until the open again. We'll finish off our run. Watching for news. Not seeing anything yet. CPIX. Strategic transition up 50% on the initial pop of the 100K shares. So break above 5 on the daily level with room up to 550. Above 550 up to 6. 9 million share float. So the float is a little bit higher on this. High volume selling. Stock is easy to borrow as well with a higher float. According to the community chat. So I'm not really seeing anything. 903. We're kind of actually struggling. We got some higher volume buying there. Kind of curling back up to 5 a little bit. But then it's followed right by higher volume selling. What is this news? Additional proxy soliciting materials? What does that mean? I'm not exactly sure what that news headline means. Never seen it before. We're popping up there. Broke through 5. Do we hold 5? Sellers popping up. Just keeping in mind that it's easy to borrow. So it might just get pushed down by shorts here. High volume selling again. Buying followed by higher selling, by higher buying, higher selling, higher buying, higher selling. Bouncing off VWAP a little bit. Breaking through there. But we get pushed back down again. So now we have 3 topping tails. But we're still not breaking down. Creeping up to high of day. We break. Do we hold 525? We're holding, so I'm going to add a small position, looking for the squeeze up to 550. We break. Take some profit and look for a pullback or re-entry. Because we're not really pulling away yet. Pop back up there. Watching for green on the tape here. High of 570. $20 left on that 1 minute candle. Feels kind of grindy. We've got one pullback. This is kind of the second pullback. 30,000 share seller popping up there. Forming a gravestone on the 1 minute. Theoretically, I could have held all the way up to 590 there after that break, because that was my first sort of exit indicator, was that topping tail. But the stock, the volume profile isn't very good. The stock has so many topping tails, it's easy to borrow. I just wanted to book the profit while I had it rather than get stuck in a drop. That's also why I didn't size up. I got decreasing volume now. So I have to keep in mind a few things here to correct my past mistakes when I've been green before. Is that, I'm up about $23 on the day, which is half of my cold market daily goal. but I'm above my size up, which is $10. I'm double my size up right now. But it's 916. So if I make a mistake at this point, I'm not really going to have much opportunity to recover it. I may trade at the open, but we haven't really had any good stocks today. This one is up 77%, but all of the stuff that I mentioned before, like higher float, 9 million share float, kind of grindy, easy to borrow, lots of topping tails, weird volume profile. Because there's going to be more volume at the open, it might give us another opportunity at the open. But right now I have to be extra careful about getting back in this one. So the high is up here, 89. There's another level around, it was 516, 524, 513, around 516 there. And there was also a level around here, around 455. Thirty-five seconds left on that 5-minute candle. High is 90. Pops up and then gets pushed back down 20 cents. The high of the 5-minute candle is 80. MACD is negative right now. But if we see it break and hold above 6, then we might see it pull away. A bit of a false break there. So AI popping up, but it's lower priced, higher float, close to the open. We're creeping up here, creeping up to that high of day level. So if I were to take a half size starter, that would be two button press, and then if it pulls away, then I could press it 2 more times to go up to max position size. But it's a little bit finicky up here. So 590 high. A little bit of a pivot at 580. 30 seconds left on the 1 minute candle. Got sellers popping up. But it pushes through. Bounces off of 6. Break through there. We hold. Not really holding very well. There we go, now we hold. So I'll take a small position. Doesn't look like it's working out, so just back out. Doesn't really seem like it's happening today. I don't know. Stock is very choppy. I want to see it break 610 and hold it because we're kind of it pops up to 610 and it kind of just gets pushed back down. MACD's negative again. Back, look for the break back through 6. As long as we hold that 590 level, then we should break back through 6. Doesn't seem to be working. I think we just leave it there. It's just not working today. This is too choppy. I'm almost back to break even. I was up 17 on TRT, but now I'm down 1250 on this. So this would be a break even day if I were trading with commissions. We're just kind of not seeing anything today. I was hoping here that we dropped below this level of previous level of support, and then we came back up here, like we popped back up. So I thought that if we broke through 6 here, then it might at least come back up to 610. And then we might see a short squeeze here. That's trying to anticipate the break. Like I'm trying to anticipate the break on these because they can pop so quickly sometimes. Back here, I probably could have bought at 560, anticipating it to move up to back up to the highs because of the sentry candle back here. But it's a little bit difficult today. MNTS moving a little bit. I don't really like the daily on it. You would have to break above of like 850. I don't know. We'll see what CPIX does at the open. Unless it's like a very obvious setup, I'm not going to take it. It is our leading gainer at the end of the day. So high was 615. This level is actually 590. So 1 minute to the opening bell. Keep my order up around 6, but I'm not too confident about this one. So I said that I don't trade the first few minutes of the open, so hands off. Wow, look at that rejection. That's crazy. So, a few things here. Do I have enough of a cushion to trade this? No, only up $5. Basically nothing. It just had a huge rejection. And I don't really see anything else I like on the day right now. AUD kind of popped up back through VWAP and looks like it's about to halt up. But it's a bit risky to buy a dip and rip. When I don't have a cushion. And I've said in my rules that I shouldn't be trading at the open if I don't have a cushion. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish our Slay the Spire run. And then we're going to call it a day. I'm just not sure why it takes so long for it to pop up on OBS. There we go. All right. So we're going to finish this run so you guys aren't left in the dark. So we'll continue weakening that guy. Could do 32 damage, or I could just invoke and block. And I can probably kill this guy while this guy's buffing. So how much damage do I need? I need at least 4 times, so I can spend 1 mana doing something and still kill this guy. And so now this guy doesn't have armor, so now I can just kill him. I'm going to switch this over to AUD so we can just watch the halt action. I'm not going to get in it. I don't like any of this stuff. I think I said that I was going to go through where? I think I was going to go through these campfires here because I had some stuff I wanted to upgrade. And this is what the AoE is for. I want to use my block potion here. 6, that's 20. I think I will use my block potion so that I can invoke once. And do a little bit of damage on the guy that's buffing. So I only need 4 mana to kill the front guy. Or I could do this. I can bone shards. I can also still kill the front guy. Cleanse is pretty good. I really like cleanse here. I want another Defy. Just fill my deck with Defies and remove all my blocks. That sounds like a good plan. TRT is making its way up, back up to 12. It's kind of interesting. We Defy, he only does 8 damage. We invoke, and we replay. So it resumes there. Dip and Rip would have worked up to 850 there. One thing I do have to remember is I have this Diamond Diadem, which is a significant amount of block, technically. I can actually just play Cleanse, get rid of a bunch of my slimes here. And Eradicate. And he's not going to do very much damage. So this actually went from 8 all the way up to 929. That's pretty powerful. An AUUD. Well, I'm going to take a bunch of damage here because I don't have enough cards in my hand. The amount of slimed I have is kind of ridiculous. Probably going to draw a full hand of slime here, half a hand of slime again. The best I can do is invoke Bodyguard. Might actually just straight up die to this guy. That's kind of crazy. That's way too much slime. I just died to slime. Maybe I made a mistake somewhere, but that's kind of ridiculous. Damn. It's an unfortunate end of the run. I was doing pretty good, but I couldn't get set up because of the damn slime. So that's enough to Slay the Spire. Let's take a look. This looks like it's resuming flat now. It is above high of day. So let's think about what happened today here. So I kind of overtraded CPIX a little bit. The stock was a higher float, a 9 million share float, which I don't normally trade during cold markets because they're too slow. It's outside of my float range. So if I had just been happy being up, I think it was like $5 on it or something, or $6, and I would have had a little bit of a cushion to trade the open instead of going red on it and then not having a cushion at all and not being able to trade the open. Then I would have been able to probably find an entry right here around eight for the squeeze up. So once again, I'm kind of being I'm being held back by the fact that I'm not taking my stock selection, I guess, seriously enough sometimes. I was just happy that we had something to trade after waiting for so long. I got a little bit on TRT, but it didn't pull away like I expected. Other than that, I've just been sitting around the whole day and just playing Slay the Spire, doing nothing. So CPIX popped up, and I'm like, all right, well, this is the first thing that's moving. But in reality, it was outside of my float range. My very first trade on it for the breakthrough was okay. But after that, maybe I should have just left it alone. Or maybe if I had recognized the grindy price action immediately, I could have been a bit more confident adding and then holding to 560 or 570, maybe selling half at 550 and then selling the rest up at 560, 570 for a bit more of a winner. But today's pretty much break even. This $82 loss doesn't count because it's just a penny that I'm experimenting. I'm experimenting with pennies. I'll say that again. I don't include them in my metrics, win or loss. But my goal should be to trade only the best quality, get a buffer on the day, and then look at the open for good opportunities. Like I could have potentially made 75 cents a share, maybe even $1 a share on this. If I got in at 8, maybe sold half at 850, held the rest into the halt, or maybe sold another half into the halt, held the rest and sold the rest up to when it pops up to 10 here. That would have been pretty good to end the day. So I've got a lot of I kind of got a lot of things ongoing right now for what I need to fix. We've got stock and setup selection, which I've been trying my best to do that, right? This is why we've been playing Slay the Spire. If there's nothing interesting on watch, so that I don't get tempted to get into anything that's not worthy. I think part of the reason why I traded CPIX too is because I saw that Ross was trading it a little bit since I have the stream up on the side, but maybe I shouldn't let his opinions affect my own judgment either, because we have different ways of trading. He ended up being profitable on this and I'm not, so I have stock selection on the go, setup selection on the go, so increasing my accuracy. I have this new position management, scaling into trades, scaling out of trades. I have my reduced risk, so I want to see what my results are now that I've reduced my maximum risk and maximum position size. Making sure that I'm not giving back my profits, not being complacent when I earn a little bit of money. I said that I have to be careful about CPIX after I started losing money on it. But I ended up and went and lost $12 on it anyways. So even if the stock is moving up with news, I think I need to follow my rules, not trade outside of the float range. It's still pretty much a cold market. Like this isn't really a hot market right now. It was hot for like 1 day or 2 days on Friday and Monday, and now it's just kind of, we're not seeing any action again. The S&P 500 is going sideways. We're in a bit of a stalemate, and people are kind of unsure about what's going on in the Middle East. So we're gonna call it a break-even day. Just leave it at that. We're gonna end up having a red week because I doubt that I'm gonna make back. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, today's Thursday. I doubt I'm gonna make back I think it was like $120 or something. I think I was red on Monday. What was it? Red on Monday, green on Tuesday, down slight red because my red on Monday was slightly bigger than Tuesday. And then I lost like $110 yesterday. So we're down like $120 or something like that right now in the week because of my big mistake yesterday. So the small green day doesn't really put a dent in it, and I doubt I'm going to make $120 tomorrow if the market continues like this. Unless we have a wild card move and I can take advantage of it, make my hot market daily goal is technically 10%, right? It is $200. It's my hot market daily goal. If we can get a hot market going and I can take advantage of some big squeezes. But I'm not going to get my hopes up. We're just going to focus on recovering from this drawdown and focusing on building and maintaining my discipline muscle, figuring out ways to keep myself from getting emotional, getting triggered, and get used to trading with scaling and managing positions. So that's going to be it for me today. Thank you to anyone who stopped by and watched. I'll be back at it 7 a.m. tomorrow Eastern time, the same time as per usual, hoping for a wild card move. But until then, take care, stay green, and I'll see you next time.